Thank you, MC. Thank you so much for this rare privilege of having the opportunity of introducing my leader, a great and patriotic Nigerian, an illustrious Igbo son, former chairman Police Service Commission, and chairman Igbo Elders Consultative Forum, as well as chairman Ohaneze Council of Elders from 19 Northern States and FCT Abuja. Ladies and gentlemen, help me to welcome to the podium Chief Dr. Simon Nsobundu Okeke. We call him Ochendo. Call him Ochendo. Call him Ochendo. Call him Ochendo. Ochendo, welcome to the podium.
Iyom, the leader of Nkata Nnamdi Foundation. Distinguished leaders here, ladies and gentlemen, let me dwell on the existing protocol already established. A lot has been said, a lot yet to be said. Just a few comments, then I'm done with a short speech which I made. Nigeria today, which you all know, right from the very first day of our independence, October 1, 1960, had been standing on a tripod. Tripod means 3 legs. Today, 1 leg is broken. 1 leg is broken. And it is clear to all, a table standing on 3 legs and 1 leg broken, can it stand stable? Can it stand? No. That's the answer. Until the broken leg is re-established and put back to where it belongs, the table will never stabilize. That is Nigeria of today. The southeast, where I come from, people today have different opinions about it. Some say they are feared, some fear them, some deride them, some adore them in private. But, as has been said here, Ndi Igbo have values they respect. Never mind that today, the young men of today, particularly those born after the Nigeria-Biafra War, they do not understand. Some of them do not understand the old values of Ndi Igbo. Maybe not through their own fault. They were not brought up the way people like me and there's Igbo here were brought up. There are old values, do's and don'ts. for which we are known. And that remains cardinal. You see, someone said here, which is true, Zik was the foremost nationalist in Nigeria, was responsible for the education of those following him, like K.O. Mbadiwe, Bono Jike, Okeke Abisina Nwaforizu, and others. He brought them to US for training, which is the system already adopted, known for our people. Which was promoted very fast by the first association binding all Igbos, Igbo State Union, which promoted fast education everywhere in Igbo land, building schools in both Igbo land and the north, and everywhere. And hence, although the East was educationally marginalized, in the sense that the West, for instance, had a much earlier exposure. The first lawyer produced in the West, Sapra Williams, was called to bar in 1876. Now, the first lawyer called to bar in Southeast was Salu Mbanefo, who was called to bar in 1936. That year I was born, for your information. Yes. But within 30 years of 1930 to 1960, the whole thing gap, the wide gap, was closed by Onyagra and Igbo State Union activities. So, fear came around everywhere, fear of Igbos. Anyway, it continues. Today, as I said, and also emphasized by Labran Marco here, who spoke about non-inclusiveness of government of today, which is true. I mean, one can hardly believe from appointments so far made, at least by the current government, that Ndi Igbo are part of the country. But, all said and done, at the right time, the bone shall rise again. The young men of today, our youths today, as has been also mentioned, I think by Pius Anyim, after money. Not so. Igbos have never been known for worshiping money. Ndị Igbo na-akpa ego akpa. Ada ebu ya ebu. Am I right? But today, because that is the norm in Nigeria. Today, if you are given an appointment where you cannot steal money, it's a bad appointment you have. Am I right? Let me tell you, me, as chairman of Police Service Commission for 5 years, I was invited. I was pressed to share 17 billion tucked away somewhere, and nobody will know. I, Simon Okeke, said no. The person telling me thought. The person talking to me thought I was joking. Came to my office 2 times to say it. 3rd time, he came to my house at night. I thought the reason for coming was to discuss promotions and postings for the police. Then I said, okay, come on. He said, Oga, that thing I told you before. I said, what is it? He said, up there. Okay, nobody will know. I said, please walk out. Walk out from my house. He thought I was joking. This is a true story. The highest pinnacle of the police walked out from my house. He thought I was joking. He said, okay, okay, one day, your job and my job will finish. We know what happened. I said, get out. He walked out from my house and forgot his cap on the chair. I told my SA, who some of you know, Imaibe, go and call him to come and take his cap. As he was coming by the corridor, I used this very walking stick to take his cap and throw it to him. This is one of the contents in the book I wrote covering the 5 years of my service to the nation. The title is Policing the Nigeria Police. This story is there, among other things. However, distinguished guests, let me not bore you. Let me not bore you. Down to my very short speech. Very short speech. 5 minutes is gone. It gives me much pleasure to be here with you, women of class and respectability, as your special guest of honor at this year's function of the foundation. By your name, your group believes in full deliberation and interaction between persons before final action are taken. Nkata. That is what it should be. Failure to deliberate and discuss fully on serious matters before taking action quite often leads to avoidable problems. Indeed, most problems in life arise because many have acted without adequate deliberation. Nkata. Importance of involving women in community and state matters. The old system of ignoring women in serious domestic or state matters is gone. Pitfalls, listen, pitfalls men fall into quite often arise because of disregarding women's input prior to taking actions, both in domestic and community matters. Time has gone when women are excluded during serious deliberations. Our people should avoid exclusion of women in key issues of community and state. Quite often, women, by their nature, can detect minute but very vital points that men would readily gloss over, but at their peril. The saying, behind every successful man, it's a common saying that behind every successful man, there is a woman. This speaks eloquently of the imperative of involving women opinion in important decisions prior to implementation. The role of womanhood is pivotal in most human affairs. This saying arises from experience of actual life events. Man has his own exclusive role to play in life. So also is the woman, particularly in matters pertaining to procreation and child upbringing. In fact, respect is not in doubt what role each has to play in the exclusive thought. But there are some functions in the family which come under current list. In that respect, it is always better for both to agree as to what each will do to get optimal result. Failure to deliberate by the parties brings disharmony in the family. This should be avoided. Hitherto, no one has answered the question as to who is behind every unsuccessful man. Maybe this will form part of your deliberation. Need to review some taboos, do's and don'ts of yesteryears. Iwa Oji in the Igbo land is the exclusive reserve of men. Till this day, I do not know why a woman should not break kola nut. If anybody knows why, I want to know. If anybody knows, please educate me. Again, ownership or getting share of proprietary right. In most parts of Igbo land, women had hitherto been excluded from shares of family properties of their deceased father. This happily appears to have been overturned in a recent Supreme Court decision involving some parties from Anambra State, where that time old dogmatic practice was thrown out by the Supreme Court. I think in Lagos. I congratulate the panel of judges that came to the classic judgment. This should be included in what you women will discuss, so that women in Igbo land where hitherto are stopped from participating, sharing in property rights of their deceased father. Let them know now that the Supreme Court had come out with a judgment throwing it away. Women are as good as men. They should participate in their fathers. In conclusion, life expectancy of wives and husbands. Generally, a man lives, a woman lives longer than the husband. I hope you, women, will include this in some of the deliberations you are going to carry out. Why is it that women outlive their husbands? It may help if you deliberate and find a way to make the life of a man to be equal to that of a woman. I thank you very much indeed for listening to you. Thank you very much. Thank you.
In the heart of the city where stories unfold, Njenje Media TV shining bright and bold, bringing news from the corners of the globe, connects us together, no matter the road.